So all those pictures and headlines and whatever you see from the screens of your television and reading newspapers, I know very much from my childhood and my first years in Ukraine before moving to Israel. And without connection to that, when all this disaster began on February 23rd, 24th actually, we started receiving phone calls from the Jews of Ukraine, from the Jewish communities from all over Ukraine, calling for help. And we at KKL in Jerusalem, we launched several different actions within Ukraine and within the countries bordering Ukraine, like Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, and other countries, to help the Jews of Ukraine to make their way to safety. Be it in the surrounding countries of Ukraine, and some of them we were lucky enough and blessed enough to bring to Israel. So today we will be speaking about this beautiful small community of orphans and families from Zhytomyr, small city in Ukraine, whom they heroically were rescued from Ukraine to one of the countries, to Romania, and then from Romania directly to Israel. I had the privilege to meet them at the official ceremony in the airport in Israel, and then we brought them directly to Nesarim Field Center. We would like to thank, first of all of you. And Beth, I see you. Thank you for your leadership, for your vision, and all the generous donors who joined the efforts of JNF Canada to support this very important Saving Lives initiative. And of course, I see Gili, our colleague from Nesarim, who is working, Gili, shalom, working day and night, making the life of those kids in Nesarim a paradise. By the way, on our way from Tel Aviv to Toronto, we met one of the Chabad rabbis in the airport, Amnon and Zev, they can testify, and Rabbi Shlomi Peles, who is really very closely in close relationships with the rabbis of the community of Zhytomyr. He says that those kids would never dream about this reception and the paradise that they have now in Israel due to your endless work, your and your staff. We really do our best. And Amnon says, you hear what Amnon says. You are a good student of our CEO. And also, we have with us today our staff from Jerusalem, my colleagues Tomer and Esti and Shariel, and Doron. Hello and shalom to everybody. And the most important guest is Lilia Lachovich from Kiev, our local youth coordinator at the KKL JNF office in Kiev, Ukraine. And I would like, Lilia became really a megastar in the last several weeks. We have managed to bring Lilia to Israel, and Lilia spent several weeks in Israel volunteering at Nesarim Center with those kids. And I want to say on a personal note, the Ukrainian Jewish community is going through hell in those days. Cities of Ukraine are bombed and people are crying for help and many families are destroyed. And Lilia had all the chances to stay in Israel and to spend quality time with her relatives and her friends and to keep volunteering with those kids from Zhytomyr. But after several weeks, Lilia decided, no, I want to go back to my community, to my family in Kiev, in Ukraine, despite all the risks in the world. And she's really doing holy work with us, be it in Israel or in Ukraine. Lilia, thank you very much from all of us on behalf of the management of leadership of Kakal JNF, and please share with us your story and your insight to what's going on. Thank you again. Lance.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you so much. Lance, could you give me the co-host?
You are permitted to share.
I'm permitted. Okay, thank you. So first of all, hello to everyone. My name is Lilia, and today I'm going to tell you about my own experience, about my own feelings during all this period. First of all, I would like to say that before the war, I've always used to think that every person comes to this world, exists in this world with his own problems and troubles, and only he is responsible for their solution. But as it appeared for me recently, that this war really united people from all over the world. What is more interesting, that people from Canada, the other continent at all, can help Ukrainians that are in Europe to get a climate in Israel that is on the east. So it's amazing, and all these connections are meeting here in Netzarim. So I'm gonna show you a short presentation. Just a moment. And I call this presentation "Be the Reason Someone Believes in the Goodness of People." So Netzarim, for you to know, it's a field and forest education center that is located in the heart of a green forest. Honestly, I didn't know about Netzarim before I came to Israel this time. It's right next to the community of Netzarim, which is a short drive from Jerusalem. This center has hosted 150 Jews from Zhytomyr who escaped the war. A lot of them are children without parents. They are under the responsibility of elder brothers or sisters. They are away from home and with a big question about their future. But Ukrainians say that hope is the last thing to die. And I hope, as well as the other Ukrainians, as well as the Jews from Zhytomyr that are now in Netzarim, we hope to overcome all our difficulties and all our challenges that everyone has faced with. So my own challenges that I have faced, I had three. The first one is a blame to be safe. I would call it like a syndrome of a survivor. The next one is a feeling of being useless. I was at Kiev for the first 10 days after the war has started. And I thought a lot that before the war, I used to be a kind of a person that was always ready to help, that always knew to help, it could help. And now I'm sitting here at my home and I even cannot go outside. That's why I felt really upset about that. And moreover, then my chief, my boss, he moved to the western part of Ukraine to help Ukrainian refugees and Ukrainian Jewish refugees to accommodate them. And I stayed here in Kiev and I didn't know what to do, how to help. And that's why having speak to some people that for me they are the leaders of opinion, I decided to leave Ukraine to go to Mexico, but I will tell about this in a few minutes. So my set challenge is post on Facebook or Instagram about your help. I haven't decided yet what is for me. It's role model or it's a boosting, because after the war has started, every person, now I understand that there are a lot of donations in Ukraine, in our country, in our community. So we have to post how we spend this money. But for me, it's like a problem, it's like a dilemma. So I haven't decided yet what is for me. And my first country was Romania, but I didn't. I wasn't together with people from Zhytomyr, because I was from Kiev, and from Kiev I moved to Kamenets-Podolsky, that is on the western part of Ukraine. And from Kamenets-Podolsky, I continued my way to Romania, to Bucharest, because from Bucharest I had a flight to Mexico. In Bucharest, I missed my home very much and started to count my days to come back to Ukraine again. But in Mexico, all the participants, first of all, I'm a participant of Zionist Leadership Academy, and they organized a conference, a great conference in Mexico, and I was invited there too. And all the participants created the atmosphere of home. Sometimes I even thought that home is just people that are with us. So in Mexico, I realized that I can help to people. Even when I'm speaking about the situation, it is the help. So when I came from Mexico to Israel, I really felt lost myself, because Mexico is over, is behind us, and now I have to accustomed to a new reality, to Israel. Despite I've been to Israel a lot of times, but this time was very special for me, because the situation in Ukraine, I couldn't afford to myself to have fun, just to meet my friends. So I asked at the office of KKL, I asked them, how can I help to people? And I found out that now in Israel, there are Jewish people from Zhytomyr. And because of my education, I'm the Hebrew teacher. I made a proposal to teach them Hebrew, but I told that I was going to stay in Israel only for a month. So my teaching Hebrew was during almost 2 weeks. So Israel became for me like a great opportunity to find myself. Oops. Oh, I remember my first meeting in Netzarim. I was with Esti, and when we came there, we met Gili, and we started to. Gili made me an excursion in Netzarim, and I met this boy. Look at him; his eyes are very serious. Even I think that he doesn't realize he's
Lilia, your slides aren't going forward. We can't see the picture of the boy.
suffering, because I was told about what?
Your slides aren't moving forward. We're not seeing the picture of the boy.
Oh.
So maybe unshare and then reshare and
Okay.
advance your slides.
Yes, sure. I will try again. And now, can you see?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
great. So look at this boy. His eyes are really upset, and I was told that he lost his grandmother before the war, and he didn't know about that. He has no mother, father, sisters, and brothers. He was alone with his grandma, and she died before the war. And when he was told about that, he started to cry, and he found out about his grandmother the day before I came. So I really, my heart was broken. I really liked this boy, and not only him, all the children, but especially him. I have to continue. Oh, okay. So now you can see the activities on this photo, the activities of children in Nesarim. By the way, I was teaching children together with adults, teenagers and adults, because there were not only orphans, but also some families. I mean, children with their mothers or grandmothers. And, you know, I realized that I needed. It really helped me. Between the lessons, I was having some conversations with teenagers and adults regarding their future, how they see their future, or in Israel or in Ukraine. And, you know, some of them, especially teenagers, they would prefer to stay in Israel. Children still don't understand, and they really enjoy here in Nesarim, but they cannot plan their future. They are children. They are at the age of, look at them, they are at the age of 10, 9, 11. So they're just, they feel the kindness and they enjoy from this. And when I was talking to parents, to adults, they told me, some of them, by the way, some of them were preparing documents to make Aliyah. Some of them told me that they would like to come back to Ukraine because in Ukraine they had everything. And now in Israel, they don't feel comfortable. So as many people, as many thoughts. They had a lot of excursions, historical excursions, and different activities. So to conclude my speech, I would like to quote these words. Old men can make war, but it's children who will make history. So I would like to say thank you for the opportunity you are giving us to make this history. Thank you for your attention and thank you for your efforts. Thank you very much.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you, Lilia. Before we move on to Maria, I'd like to open up the floor for comments or questions. You can, we're a small group, so you can just jump right in by unmuting and jump right in, or you can write a question into the chat if you'd like, or comment.
Sure, ask a question.
Go ahead, Yoram.
Hi, Lilia, if you could help us understand, some of the children we understand are orphans, and then it was mentioned that some were cared for or have families still in Ukraine. You know, how are those children doing, and how are we, you know, keeping them in touch with their family who's still in Ukraine?
All of the children have their smartphones that can be in touch with their parents, so it's not a problem now.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Speaking of children at Nesarim, this is actually a great opportunity to now introduce Maria. Maria is actually a student who's at Nesarim, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself and to say a couple words about her background and what it's been like to be in Israel for the last couple of months, and to give us a firsthand impression as a Ukrainian Jew, what her experience has been. So really, without further ado, Maria, the floor is all yours.
Yes, hello. I'm actually right now at Nesarim. That's why the sound can be not good because a lot of kids are here, and everything's okay. Yes, do you hear me okay?
I hear you great.
Maria, you
Keep
can.
going. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Super. Thank you. Thank you. So my name is Maria, and I am from Zhytomyr, from Ukraine, and I'm here with my family, with my 3 brothers and my sister. And actually, when the war started, my youngest sister, she was 3.5 months. That's why she was so little. And when the war started, I said to my mom that we should go. We have no chance because she's so little and she can't be with my mom in the bomb shelter and all the things. And it was a really terrible time. But thanks God and thanks all the people that helped our community and orphanage that is in Zhytomyr, and also just Jewish community in Zhytomyr. We are here. So when we were evacuated to Israel, and when we came here, I remember that I met Gili, and she said just a few words like, "How am I doing?" and something else. And I felt so terrible because everyone said like, "Welcome home," but you know, when like a week ago you thought that your home is Zhytomyr, small city in Ukraine, and you had no idea that something will destroy your life. And then like after months I've realized that I really feel here like home when I go like, I don't know, to Jerusalem for some, I don't know, just maybe shopping, and I came back to Nesarim. I just feel like, oh, everything is okay, I'm home. I know that anything will destroy all this. Oh, I'm so nervous, sorry. And so, yes, the war in Ukraine destroyed a lot of lives of my friends, of people, and there was a question about relatives of children here, and I am like a madrich for them, and here is a girl. Her name is Nadia, and she is from Mariupol. That is now in very, very, very critical situation, and she had no connection with her relatives for maybe 3 weeks or something. And when we went to some excursion, I don't know, maybe to the zoo or something, she came to me and said like, "Oh, Maria, you know, I had a call with my grandma and with my brother, and they are alive, and they are now evacuating from Mariupol." And I've cried right there, and even now I'm sitting, and that's because that's a story that is happening right now, and that's very difficult to talk with these kids about war, because they saw it and you try to make some fun or something, and but of course all of them, they need help, and this help is provided by you, by Jewish National Foundation, by KKL, and you even don't know how I am grateful that I am here, that I am in safety, and I can be here. That's really awesome. That's why I'm kind of don't know what to say, because I have so much feelings. So maybe you have some questions and I can answer them.
Thank you, Maria. So first of all, your English is beautiful. So it's
Thank you.
very impressive how you learned English so well at such a young age. Secondly, the emotion.
Her Hebrew is better. You must know.
Okay, so we'll do the next presentation in Hebrew then. Perfect.
Yes.
And I want to say that, the way you spoke from the heart was so touching. Really, it really got to me is, what comes from the heart goes through the heart. And thirdly, I know you're on the call and you're saying thank you to us, but what we just want to say, to you and to all of your peers is that you're so brave, you're so young to leave your home and to go somewhere, because of war, and to go somewhere that's unknown and different. It takes a lot of bravery, a lot of courageousness, a lot of resiliency. And I really just want to applaud you for being such a resilient young woman. And I think all of us stand in silent awe as you make your presentation. And I don't think I could have had the poise that you have when I was your age. So it's now time for questions for Lilia or Maria. There was one question that came in during the chat, asking about, were the children orphans before the war? What caused them to become orphans? I'll say one word about that. And I was talking to my colleagues about it. Some of the children are actually orphans. Their parents have died. Some of the children, their parents are out of the picture in that they might be in jail, they might have drug problems, and they are just nowhere in the picture to be, capable, hands-on parents. So although some of the children might actually have biological parents, they're categorized as orphans because they're in such a difficult situation. But some of the children actually that were able to be brought to Israel were able to come with a parent, a mother or a grandmother, sometimes with an older sibling. So that's part of the answer. But I'll turn it over to Lilia or Maria or Gilly or Esty or somebody who wants to add on to that.
Also, some kids, they do have parents, and I know a boy here that he has a dad, but his dad right now is in army and he cannot leave the country. So that's why he was in such difficult situation that his parents cannot rescue him because he is defending the country, and that's why he is here now too.
Any other comments or questions?
Yes, I'd like to ask something.
Please go right ahead, Michelle.
I'm completely blown away that you are so strong in what you've only been through. It's just unimaginable for any child your age. Would your plans be to stay in Israel if you had the choice, or will you eventually go back to Ukraine with your family, your brothers?
Actually, for now, it's a very difficult question because all my friends, all my life is in Ukraine. But now I understand that maybe Israel is my home too. And I don't know what to do for now, really. I cannot answer.
Well, I wish you so much luck in whatever you decide to do.
Please just go off mute and just jump in if you have a question or a comment.
Lydia just came back to Ukraine, so she did the road back, so she can tell what are the images now in Ukraine, if you want, Lilia.
Yeah, sure. When I was on my way to home to Ukraine, I really, all of my friends said to me, "Why, are you crazy?" And I told them, yes, a little bit, but I really, now I'm happy to come back to Ukraine even now I'm in Kiev and it's safe here because our army has made some progress in the defending. So I would like to say that it was worse coming back. That's it. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Meanwhile, now I'm at home and we cannot do our projects that we planned. But I'm glad to come back to my friends, to my parents, because my parents were not able to leave Ukraine. And my brother and my father, they are forbidden to leave.
I think there was somebody who had a question. Any additional questions or comments?
It's Beth Price, who, and for those of you who don't know, I'm the president of JNF Canada. And I just want to say, as Michelle said, it is an extremely powerful example. Lilia and Maria and all of the staff at Nes Harim. I mean, it personifies the goodness of Jews working together for fellow Jews in a crisis. And we are very proud to be involved with the Nes Harim project, of course, but you all are on the ground doing all the good work, and kol hakavod, and thank you.
Maria, I have a question for you, and it might be also for, Gilly, but, we're all hoping that the war is going to end soon, but it doesn't look like it's in sight. How long is the plan for the children to stay in Israel until the end of the war? What's the timeline?
I think maybe Gilly knows better. As I know from just talking with kids, they want to stay here. Not all, because they even don't understand what is going on. And while they are here, I think this is better that they don't understand it, and they don't have this trauma about all these things. And when I asking like what will be, a lot of children want to stay here.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, will they, I mean, do they actually get adopted, or do they just grow up in an orphanage, or what happens to these kids?
Yes, there is a center in Zhytomyr. It's called Alumim, and they live there. They study in Jewish school in Zhytomyr, and they live there for their whole life. There are children that are in this center for 10, 15 years, and their whole life was in this orphanage. And when the war started, our Rabbi Shlomo Wilhelm, that is, I don't know, our Rabbi, he said that the most important thing is to rescue these children, and then we rescue all the Jews of Zhytomyr. That's why they left Zhytomyr maybe after 7 hours when the war started. That's why they don't have a lot of memories about how it was, how the war started, and it was like that.
Thanks. Anything else that people want to ask? or comment on. I saw that there was a comment about how lucky we are to have Israel, thinking back to the children during World War II who had nowhere to run to. This is a completely different story, and absolutely that's part of the Zionist ethos that, no matter what country, no matter what part of the world, if you need to come to a safe haven, Israel is there for you. And I'm really thrilled that, we can be a small part, a small cog in a major effort, to take care of, one orphanage from Zhytomyr. It's really something else. We're going to wrap it up soon, but I do have a question for Maria and Lilia, and also for Gilly. Is there anything that you were missing at Nesarim that would make the lives of the children better? I know you're doing lots of things, school bags and supplies and arts and crafts and computers and sneakers and whatever it is the kids need to, have a good, happy life. But is there anything that is missing that would be, that would enhance everybody's lives?
Maria?
It's a tricky question because I don't know what to say. we have really everything that we need here. When I was evacuating, I just took 2 pairs of jeans, 1 t-shirt and 1 hoodie, and that's all. And now I have a lot of clothes, a lot of sneakers, a lot of things, and we really have everything that we need here. I don't know what to say else.
Your brother,
I would like to add.
Maria, yesterday your brother told me that he wants Sony and some play for afternoon.
He had no Sony in Zhytomyr, and now he wants it.
I think there is a need, Lance, with your permission. I think there is a need for after some facilities after playing the day, like afternoon, some playgrounds and facilities like that. This is, I think, the most important for Nesarim at the moment, I think.
Is there the facility for it? Do they have the space for it in the area that?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yes.
That's helpful to know. It's food for thought for all of us. Maybe this is something that we could do, above and beyond. So let's plant that seed and think about that. So I'm going to wrap up the call. And I simply wanted to thank all of our donors who've participated in this effort. We couldn't do it without you. I want you to know the reason we did it is I want you to see real people who've benefited from your generosity, that this is important and life-saving. And it really, I hope you're very proud of your contribution to a very big international effort. I want to thank Lilia and the other staff who are involved in taking care of these children, Gilly and Esti. Really, kol hakavod. We're just so proud that you're there to make sure that they have a high quality of life. And it doesn't happen just because we want it to happen. It takes people. And Lilia, we know you're back in Ukraine, so please be careful. I know you've told me that Kiev is safe and the army isn't at the borders of it. But we do, rest assured, we watch the news, we worry. You're our extended family, and we want only the best for you: safety, long life, and lots of happiness. So I know we're all praying for the end of the war and that it should come soon. And really, on that note, I'm going to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Tomer, for facilitating the Lilia and Maria's participation. That was really vital. And to our friends from Israel who dialed in, Erev Tov. to our friends in Talilia in Ukraine. I think it's probably Erev Tov by now. It's getting late there probably. And for my Canadian friends, have a wonderful afternoon.
And thank you. Mostly thank you for your support. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.